Physical media is making a necessary comeback, and there's an obvious reason why.
If you've got some old DVDs laying around at home, it might be time to dig them out. The classics are cool again.
Sure, there's a nostalgia aspect to it, and I guess owning your own media is cool again, but that's not actually what's going on. In order to understand what's happening, I want to start by asking you a question. When's the last time you thought about what you were in the mood to watch before a platform just decided for you? A recommendation from a platform is likely how you came across this video. It's probably how you saw that movie on Netflix last night. And the moment you don't like something, you can easily click away because they make it so simple to just move on to the next stimulating thing. This video is all about what's happening to our attention and how this little disc is the antidote to all of that. There was a brief period in time where something like a Netflix felt genuinely different. We finally broke free from this passive consumption of cable TV where it was all linear, which conditioned us to watch just whatever was on at the time. Netflix initially disrupted that by giving us access to a library of things on demand whenever we wanted for one fixed fee and made our lives simple. Their programming felt curated and premium and most of all intentional. But as soon as streaming became the default and all these other players came in, all that content just diluted across a bunch of different platforms, and it sort of became like, whoa, okay, here's cable all over again because licensing expires and they could put on shows and take them off. And that premium content that we grew to love and expect on a single platform has been splintered across all of them. And each one of them are justifying their subscription costs by constantly putting out new things, but these new things are like made for TV level quality junk. And while there used to be just one streaming platform with all of the greatest shows ever made, now you get a show like Severance once every 5 years. So does that really warrant paying an endless subscription for? I get some of you are really savvy and you alternate subscriptions, but subscriptions are a mindless thing where most people just don't think about it, and that's how they make their money. And not to mention, most shows are engineered to be background noise. They're written in a way where exposition is doubled down on and nuance is minimized so that you can be multitasking and still following what's going along. And it's bad enough for adults, but look at what happens to kids. I flipped through YouTube Kids the other day and the shows they were programming there were just mind-numbing and purposeless. Videos there aren't meant to inspire curiosity or stimulate the mind. They're meant to just engage the viewer because YouTube is a platform that rewards watch time. The longer you watch this video, the more likely YouTube is to show it to other people. And that's not how physical media works. Just look at how shows from 25 years ago, something like Arthur, has the ability and time to set up a plot and respect a child's attention span as it carries them through a plot with lessons being taught and learned to us. And that all changed because we're filled with this algorithm retention hacking metric that measures the success based on how glued to the screen you can be. But just because you're glued to the screen doesn't mean you're absorbing anything. I'm in the middle of editing this video and I had to go to YouTube Kids to get some B-roll, and dude, I just got sucked into the vortex. I just could not look away. It's become this battleground for dopamine rather than this appreciation for art and information. And the latter isn't directly translatable to profit sheets. You have shareholders looking at companies like Netflix and Amazon, and simply being profitable is not good enough. They want to see the profit margin widen. And so they stop investing in shows and canceling them after they're like, we get most of our views in season 1, and there's no reason to respect this show and continue the series when we could just get another set of new eyeballs on a fresh new show. Think about it, Netflix is still riding the wave from a show like Stranger Things, which came out a decade ago, and they're just milking it. Creativity and cultural impact aren't measurable metrics on a quarterly profit sheet, and physical media disrupts all of that. Unlike an algorithm whose job it is to reduce friction, simply consuming physical media increases friction and makes it more difficult. And when something is slightly more difficult, the more likely you are to care and invest in it. That's kind of like the IKEA method. Part of the allure of IKEA is you feel accomplished after you make a furniture purchase there because you have to build it yourself. With physical media, you have to go open the case, take out the disc, put it in the player, and hit play. That is so much more involved than Netflix. And you might think the Netflix model of just opening up your app and hitting play is like easy because it saves you time and rental bandwidth. But when something takes a little more time, you tend to slow down. You don't just click on the first thing you see, you think about it and then make a decision on what mood you're in and then continue. And when you're choosing to watch something on purpose, you're more likely to stick to it, you're more likely to listen intently and retain what it is you're watching. Whenever I'm advocating for physical media, I naturally get some pushback from people that are saying like, why would I do something that's harder when Netflix makes it so easy? Every time we make a new technical achievement, it's so much harder to go back in time. Everything in our lives is becoming more optimized to make our next steps simpler so that it's automatic and we don't think about it. And when we stop thinking about things and everything becomes too easy, we stop showing up. We go passive and we don't become present. Automated subscriptions, ordering takeout instead of cooking, all these things are meant to be so easy and passive. You're not thinking about how much time you're wasting or how much money you're spending. I mean, we're taught that trading time for money is a good thing, but we're not filling that time with things that are nourishing. We're filling it with things that are just more consumption. And this isn't to say that we're lazy. We're not lazy. We're just fatigued. And we're fatigued because we're bombarded with stimulus. The easier it is to scroll to the next thing or whatever, the more information you take in, the more our brains get worn down, making us more tired, making us more addicted to the automated things in our lives. So when I say that physical media is awesome and I talk about it here, it's me using physical media as this mechanism to speak about this deeper topic. Like when you open a streaming app, you're not watching a movie. You're dropped into a middle of a pitch meeting. There's rows of thumbnails that beg for a click, an automated trailer that barks at your attention. You're overstimulated from the moment that you open the app. And before you allow yourself a moment to just absorb anything, you're so fatigued by it that you allow the app to make a decision for you by just clicking on something that Netflix recommends you. Now compare that to the low-tech ritual that I used just last night. All my discs are in this battered briefcase. I threw out all of my DVD cases and just put a few hundred movies in there. And get this, for whatever reason, I keep the binder in this office, which is not the room where we watch movies at home. I don't exactly know why, but the reason I'm saying this is there's this like 8-second walk where I'm like, hey, let's watch a movie, to where I go to the DVD case where I'm thinking, what mood am I in, right? It's this second of just introspection. And just that little microscopic stupid thing is so much different than opening up a Netflix app, just being bombarded by noise and not really being able to think what mood you're in. And you might feel too tired and too lazy to add a more difficult thing in your life, but I'm telling you, the more difficult things you add to your life and the more noise that you reduce, the more energy you're gonna start to realize that you actually had that was taken up by this noise. So if we add friction, it allows us to keep the zombies on the screen. And you could carry this mindset beyond just movies. The other night, I paid $18 for a salad that I could have easily made at home because I had pretty much all of the ingredients. But it just felt so easy to swing by and go to the store and have somebody make it for me and have a nice little packaging. But when you actually like break it down and think like that, it took way more effort to find parking, go into the store, wait in line, look through the menu, and just select what I wanted and pay for it and drive home. And that perception of convenience is this unintentional tax that we pay that drains our attention, our wallets, and of course our energy. So are these corporations evil? Well, I mean, I'll let you decide on that. You can make your case in the comments below. I can't wait to read them. But the objective truth is really on paper. The less they ask you to think about, the more automated they can be in your lives and the more money they can make from you. Physical media, just popping in that disc, forces you to be intentional in that moment and notice and think about what you're doing. So back to the original question from the beginning. When's the last time you chose to watch something without the algorithm putting it in front of you? I'll give you that opportunity right here. You could click on this video right here, which is a killer video I made about how libraries are saving physical media, or you could play the YouTube roulette game and see what they recommend to you. Cheers.